Ex-supermodel and reality TV star Kimora Simmons has spent around 5 years living in a legally contested $25 million Beverly Hills mansion purchased by her estranged husband with money he stole from 1MDB, a Malaysian sovereign wealth fund at the heart of one of the world's largest multi-billion-dollar frauds in history, the Post can reveal. Simmons has not made mortgage or rent payments in that time, per court docs, and she's allegedly refusing to vacate the house. She is claiming that her estranged husband, disgraced banker Tim Leissner, sold the property fraudulently and without authority to real estate moguls the Reuben brothers. The 7-bedroom estate, which sits on 3.7 acres in the heart of Beverly Hills, can be seen, at least from the outside, in her current reality show, Kimora, Back in the Fab Lane. But what will happen to the property remains unclear as the legal dispute enters its 5th year. The ongoing civil dispute over possession, title and liability stems from the distressed refinancing and sale lease of the luxury property. A trial-setting conference is slated for February 25. Leissner has yet to comment or actively participate in the case, although he was personally served in New York on August 14. It all comes as Leissner, a German national, surrendered to federal prison in Allentown, Pennsylvania, on February 6, 8 years after he pleaded guilty for his role in the $4.5 billion fraud. Simmons has also been in the news, promoting her show. In 2022, Leissner testified under oath that he bought the property, at 25 Beverly Park Circle, with $25 million that had been stolen from the Malaysian people. He gave the testimony as the government star witness in the criminal trial of his former Goldman Sachs colleague Roger Ng in federal court in Brooklyn. Ng is currently serving a 10-year jail sentence for his role. There is no evidence or suggestion that Simmons was involved in 1MDB. No one disputes that the $25 million Beverly Hills home was bought with stolen 1MDB money in 2017. But the fact that Leissner did not have to forfeit the mansion is unusual, and it leaves the door open for Malaysia to demand it back from its current owners, along with any other assets that Leissner bought with stolen money, sources told the Post. And he has quite a few. The massive fraud began in 2009 with the creation of a Malaysian sovereign wealth fund, One Malaysia Development Berhad. Within days, $700 million had been siphoned out of it. That year, a Wharton dropout named Joe Low, described by U.S. and international investigators and prosecutors as the fraud's architect, began buying trophy real estate in Manhattan with stolen cash and throwing money around New York City clubs. The Post was the first publication to mention Low by name, pointing out his high-rolling ways, which caught the eye of investigators, sources later told the Post. Low, who remains a fugitive, maintains his innocence but gave up around $700 million in assets to the DOJ without admitting guilt. He still faces criminal charges in the Eastern District of New York for money laundering and Foreign Corrupt Practices Act violations, and in D.C. for illegal campaign contributions. But if Low was 1MDB's architect, Leissner was its engineer, another source told the Post. The 6-year fraud, which benefited Malaysia's then Prime Minister Najib Razak, Low and others, was ultimately investigated by 10 different countries. And Leissner was arrested for his part in June 2018. As the judge in Ng's case said, Leissner admitted to efforts to move and hide assets, including ownership of his entities like Keyway, the holding company for the Beverly Hills mansion, out of apparent concern the U.S. government would seek to disgorge the property as restitution. The Beverly Hills home is also unusual because other trophy real estate assets bought with stolen 1MDB cash have been seized, like Low's New York and LA properties, including a $30.5 million condo in Columbus Circle. Another penthouse, in Walker Tower at 212 West 18th Street, was bought for a record $51 million purchase in 2014 by Kadem Al-Khwazi, who was implicated in the fraud and is now in prison. The property was seized and sold by the U.S. government for $18 million in 2020. Celebrities who were gifted pricey assets bought with stolen 1MDB money were also asked by the U.S. government to return them in a record civil asset forfeiture case, and they did, mostly. To date, the government has successfully recovered and repatriated around $1.4 billion to Malaysia, the largest recovery in DOJ history. Leonardo DiCaprio, for example, returned a Picasso and a Basquiat worth a combined $12.2 million and Marlon Brando's Oscar, worth $600,000, all gifted to him by Low with 1MDB money. But Simmons' home remains an outlier, and is now the subject of this messy court case. Leisner claimed in court in Ng's 2022 trial that he sold his assets to Newland, a Hong Kong-based company. But sources say Newland may have been a front company. In November 2020, Leisner's LLC, Keyway Pride, held by Newland, sold the Beverly Hills property to the billionaire brothers and real estate moguls David Rubin and Simon Rubin, after interest on a $12 million mortgage he had taken out to cover living expenses was not paid, according to a source with knowledge of the deal. The Rubin brothers declined to comment. As part of the deal, Leisner and Simmons were also to pay $67,000 a month to continue to live in the property, according to court documents. However, Simmons has been living there since November 2020 and no rent has been paid to date, a source with knowledge of the deal told the Post. While Simmons later challenged the sale and leaseback of the property, in October 2020 she allegedly signed a Keyway resolution authorizing it, although she says her signature was procured through misrepresentation and abuse of trust by Leisner, according to the defendant's complaint, filed in January 2021, 2 months after the home sold to the Rubin brothers. Simmons' lawyers and representatives did not return requests for comment, nor did Leisner's lawyer. In court testimony in the Ng case, Leisner said he continued to reside in the home after his 2018 arrest. He and Simmons have a 10-year-old son, but did not specify when he left. The estranged couple no longer live together, sources say, adding that neither Leisner nor Simmons have paid a penny to live there. In January 2021, Simmons filed a lawsuit in a Beverly Hills court. The ongoing case is between cross-defendants and plaintiffs Keyway Pride, Leisner, and Simmons, and cross-plaintiffs and defendants 25, Beverly Park Circle Propco LLC, Cantervale Limited and Chicago Title Company. In the lawsuit, Simmons claimed that the new owners of the house, the Rubin brothers, illegally bought the Beverly Hills house because it was bought without her permission. None of this drama, however, is part of Simmons' new reality show, Kimora, Back in the Fab Lane, which features at least the exterior of the Beverly Hills home. In a clip promoting the e-reality series, she says, "My name is Kimora and I am a hoarder, but a luxury hoarder," as she shows off her collection of 698 luxury handbags. Simmons once posted on social media about her friendship with Rosma Mansa, the diamond-collecting, handbag-stockpiling wife of ex-Prime Minister Najib. Mansa has been compared to Imelda Marcos for the way she amasses luxury goods bought with stolen money. Simmons' handbag collection is even larger than Mansa's, although there is no suggestion Simmons was bought with stolen money. That was not the case for Mansa. In May 2018, police seized her collection of 567 luxury handbags, shortly after Najib's coalition lost the general election. Police were seen loading 5 trucks with orange Hermes boxes. Many of the handbags were ultimately returned, others were auctioned by the government, according to reports. Let me know how you feel about this story in the comment section and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching.